Hey guys, Trevor Boone from Emerald City Guitars, and my pick of the day is this 1959 Fender high-powered Tweed Twin. A little bit of a tongue twister, but yeah, legendary amplifier. So they had two versions. They had the low power, which is also incredible. We've had a couple of those, but in 22 years, we've never had a high power twin pop through the shop, and this is the nicest one I've ever seen. The guts look amazing, it's untouched. All the pots are like late 58, which is typical. They probably just took out of a little bucket they had full of some pots from later that year, and the serial number indicates 59, so that's when it left the factory. I mean, original handle, the Tweed is in incredible condition. So these amps come with P12 ends. This is kind of an interesting deal because it has the Jensen P12N, then it has a little earlier speaker, essentially the same speaker, but a different label, the Jensen PM special design. I think it's dead stock. I think that it's something that they had left over. I did run it by a couple guys. I asked Bonamassa, who I'm sure you all know is kind of the guru of these, and he said, you know, they probably was supposed to leave the factory at the P12 ends, but I don't know. Everything on it looks freaking perfect. The solder joints look great. Again, this is an 80 watt amp pushing 25 watt speakers. So it's typical that one might have blown, but there's no indication of being switched out. I'm calling it stock. However, it could be a super, super, super early replacement or something they had in the factory. I don't know, but the speaker's right. It sounds amazing, and everything else is incredibly stock original and all there. The tubes are all what's original to the amplifier when it would have left the factory. Literally just the top tier example. This was sent to me from a good buddy who's a collector. I was out of town the last couple of days, and it landed while I was out of town, and I was freaking out waiting to get here to check it out, and we just huddled around it like a campfire and cranked it up today, and it's shook the windows. Everyone's kind of popping in the room, seeing what the hell that was, and it is the king of twins, the high power Tweed Twin. So here we go. I know I'm kind of blocking it, but it's two 12s. Actually not as heavy as you'd think. It's 80 watts, and again, that's the P12 ends, basically what the speakers in it are, rated about 25 watts, so you get this really, really just full-bodied, full bandwidth tone. They break up really nicely. I had this thing dimed and it wasn't pushing to the point where I thought I was putting it at risk. So I think some people, if you're cranking it on 10 and you hit on an overdrive and a boost, could be a little scary or risky, but man, I plugged this thing in, turned it all the way up, and it sounded awesome, and it had some more headroom. I think it wasn't pushing to the max. So collectability aside, it's just the most phenomenal sounding amp. It's got that cool compression that still cuts like glass that you hear in these original narrow panel deluxes or Tweeds and Champs even, but yeah, it's just something else, man. I mean, when you hear that many watts in this configuration from this era, it's crazy. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna use 52 Tele today, and it sounds great. It's really cool. So I'm gonna stop rambling and plug in, mess around with it. I tried both channels, bright and normal, and normal kind of had it going on for me. So I'm gonna plug into the first input of the normal channel, and yeah, I'm gonna dime it out, and we're gonna have some fun, show you what it sounds like. such an important, amazing piece, but you know, it just landed. I wanted to show it to the world, at least dig in a little bit. Anyways, thanks so much for listening, and catch you soon. Kim's gonna kill me today.